Hello. All right, so Geminis, welcome back. So this is our big storytelling for the Lionsgate portal, which is on 8/8. So this is coming out just a little bit in advance if you are in my time zone, or it might be right on the 8/8 portal, depending on where you are in the world, if you're in a time zone ahead of mine. So last week I did a storytelling where I was saying what is the energy that is someone is collecting around them leading up to the Lionsgate portal, because this is supposed to be a really wonderful time for manifestation. It's a time of great fertility. It's kind of like the way I think of it, as like an energetic, like walking from one energetic room into the next. And so we can change everything. We can change our energy flow, our persona, our mindset, and kind of have a reset button. So let's go ahead and see what is the big overarching message of like what change is occurring during this threshold. Uranus, your potential for sudden change, enlightenment, and awakening. How great is that? This is like crackling energy. We could change anything, like literally anything. Enlightenment and awakening. Maybe that's exactly it. This Gemini suddenly goes from thinking that their life is this way, is going to run this way. This is the career I do. This is the way my life is. And then suddenly it's like, wait a minute. I am a child of the universe. I am capable of anything that any other human has the capacity to comprehend, to understand, to learn, to develop. I have that same capacity. You mean there's nothing that someone else can do that I couldn't learn to do as well? Well, that cracks open my abilities and my future. That cracks it wide open. This could be someone having that moment of awareness that we have the mice. They'd been really stressed out, really worried at little fears in the back of their mind, and those little fears in the back of their mind, that's card 23, that could have been I wonder if this Gemini for a while had been only paying attention to the things that they hadn't achieved yet, or the like finding fault and flaw. Look at this, and we have stars, finding fault and flaw in aspects of their own abilities. And instead now what they're realizing is, I could be a star. Well, what am I afraid of? Why would I be afraid of going after something that I could actually end up being very, very successful in? I wonder if this Gemini has always had the capacity to shine very brightly and to be a star, and they have intentionally held back and said, I don't know if I want to be in the limelight, or they kept finding reasons to say, no, probably, I'm probably wrong about that. And they're finally realizing, no, I'm not wrong about that. I have a gift, I have a skill, I should go ahead and share it with the world. I've been kind of like intentionally, I feel like this is a Gemini who would sidestep, notoriety. And they're finally getting into a headspace where they're like, I probably should stop doing that. Yeah, we got the key, card 33. It's time to unlock all of that potential. This could be somebody who is, if at any point in their life they wanted to show some tremendous talent that they possess, they could have at any point become very well known. They could have been a household name. They could have been super successful. This could be like the person who is 77 years old and they've always had the ability, if they wanted to be an actor or something, they could have made it big in Hollywood. Well, guess what? They're realizing, I still can. I'm going to become that household name, that 77-year-old actor. This all of a sudden, some people they're like all of a sudden in everything. And it's like, where did this person even come from? It's as if, I don't want to call this Gemini a late bloomer. That's not it at all. It's that they just now are aware that they have been kind of dodging the level of success that they can experience. Now, this could be success in anything. I'm talking about it being famous just because a star is oftentimes, shining very brightly. But we could be successful in any area of life. You don't have to be a household name to be a success, right? You don't have to be somebody famous in the eyes of the public. This could be someone who has always known that they could be very talented. They could make be the star employee of the month in the career path that they have, if they wanted to go ahead and let themselves be in the spotlight just a little bit. I just think this character has intentionally held themselves back a little bit from that. I think they worried about, I don't want people looking my way. Then they're going to have more expectations on me. If I'm the star employee of the month, then it's going to be like, great. Now they're going to ask me probably to be the manager at some point, or help train other people, or do this, do that. And I really haven't wanted to have to become somebody that, think of the expectations that come with any role of leadership, whether it's leadership in like a career path, or leadership in a community, or even within someone's own family. It's like, if I step into the limelight at all of a sudden there's new expectations placed upon me. And I think it's just natural that people have like maybe unrealistic expectations on someone. It's like, wow, you're talented at this, then you must also be a good person. You have to always be a great role model. You can't ever have a slip up. You have to be like, obviously you're supposed to be smarter than all the rest of us. So now we're watching you. We expect you to do better and never make a mistake. And I kind of think that that's an unrealistic expectation to place on any human being, just because somebody has a talent, or, it's like when people like really like a celebrity, but then they also expect that celebrity to like never, have a day where they're just a cranky brat and they say something rude, or, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, wow, well, didn't know they were that kind of a person. It's like, oh, come on, everybody can be that kind of a person. And so, or if you're above that, like, then you're a freaking angel walking the earth. But I'm pretty sure every human is entitled to all the range of emotions that anybody can feel. But I still think that this Gemini was like, I do not want all of that pressure put on me. So I've been dodging being that successful, because I really didn't want a whole bunch of other stuff dumped on my shoulders. Eight of Swords is here, but this Eight of Swords is such a funny conflict card, because it's actually like they blended the Knight of Swords in the imagery with the Eight of Swords. So we have this rapid action. We've got a horse in full sprint, and then we've got this little blockage. But down here we have the like atoms buzzing around, the electrons buzzing around in that atom. It feels to me like Gemini has always been like, I know one foot is on the gas pedal and my other foot is on the brake, or I've got the emergency brake pulled, but my foot's on the gas pedal. I know. I've got talents. I've got skills. I should go ahead and step into the limelight. I've just been like, oh, I dread doing it. The Devil is here and the Magician. This poor Gemini, I'm only laughing because they're so aware that they've been doing this. They're like, yes, I know I could manifest just about anything. But then the little devil in the back of my mind says, no, we don't want to take that on. Like, with great success comes great responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility. Oh, come on, let's not do that. And it's like, but I can't help it. I've been manifesting opportunities for myself to shine brightly my whole life, because I have a lot of skills to shine and show. So we're going to have to do this, aren't we? It's kind of funny. This is like the reluctant hero. I feel like I like this Gemini so much because they're cracking me up. They're not Seven of Swords. They're like, no, I'm not some fantastic hero. I know. Gemini is very much like they don't want to be made out to be a liar. And they're saying, to I'm not flawless. Well, nobody is flawless. And Gemini's like, but people expect you to be flawless. No, nobody's going to expect this Gemini to be flawless. They're going to accept that Gemini is simply fantastic. But Gemini has been very much like, look, I'm a blend, right? I'm light and I'm dark. I'm sunshine and I'm shadow. There's parts of me that are not squeaky clean. I have, I get angry. I whatever, I curse. I'm not always in the best mood. I'm not perfect. I never said I was perfect. Nobody expects anybody to be perfect. Or if they do, then I kind of roll my eyes and be like, really? So you're perfect, huh? Let me tell you right now, I ain't perfect. I cuss like a pirate. I am petty. I'm mean-spirited. I can yell and then have to say sorry later because I was in a crap mood. I can be, just downright nasty. I've got every trait that a human can have. I got it all. But in the right circumstance, like I'm on screen right now, there's nobody bugging me right now, so it doesn't come across. You don't see Kate yelling. Let me tell you, Kate has a monster face, like I think all humans do, or maybe that's just me being a little too real right now. The bottom line is, do I have to apologize to people? Sure, lots. Because I've got my own attitude and arrogance and pettiness and all of the stuff that makes like mankind look a fool. I've displayed all of it and probably will still continue to, even though I try to be better. With the Three of Swords, this Gemini is like, this Gemini is saying, I have been through a massive heartbreak and I don't want to go through anymore. I don't want to get my hopes up and then get betrayed. I haven't wanted to, and even this Gemini is saying, it's a lie for me to act like I'm totally over something that hurt me or betrayed me. I'm not a fully healed, fully perfect human. It's like they keep saying the reason I shouldn't be in that leadership position is because I still have more personal growth to do. The thing is, that might be exactly the strength that makes this Gemini so powerful and so right to be in a position of, leadership, because they are so incredibly human. They keep saying, well, look, on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm like just a 5 when it comes to like spiritual evolution. Okay. And it's like, yeah, but that honesty, that rawness, that is what makes this Gemini so relatable. That's what would make them such a great leader, because they'll be able to understand that everyone is just doing the best they can. We're all in different stages of our growth and our journey. We've got the Boy of Swords, got the Chariot, we got the Hierophant. You know what this Gemini doesn't realize, but I think they're going to on the 8th, because that's that energetic portal. What that portal is for them, they're walking across that threshold, is our Gemini finally stepping back and evaluating themselves in a more fair light. This Gemini who's always been struggling, saying, look, I'm not that great. I really shouldn't be in a position of, leadership or whatever it is. I really don't want to shine so bright. Don't need to shine so bright, because you know what? I've got a lot of work to still do on myself. They're finally stopping and pausing and saying, okay, but let me look at my own self. If I met somebody like me, if I met somebody that was honestly evaluating myself, would I say, yeah, that's somebody I would want to be around, or that's somebody that I can comprehend because I can identify with them at this human level. They're finally looking at themselves from an outsider's view, and they're realizing, maybe I have been holding myself back too far, expecting so much from myself, expecting myself to be so perfect, when really, if I wouldn't expect that from somebody else. So, okay, maybe I should move forward. Maybe I am good enough as I am to go ahead and follow this life path and put myself out there and maybe be in that leadership position, because only an emperor and empress rides in a chariot. I think this Gemini always thought they weren't quite polished enough to pursue something. Heck, this could be somebody who's about to go ahead and run for public office, and they were like, I don't have enough experience, or I've had mishaps, I've had whatever failed businesses. I've had, who am I to be someone who's going to like guide and lead a whole community of people when I look at the mistakes I've made? And it's like, yeah, that's exactly why this would be a relatable person. And it's somebody who holds themselves accountable and expects more of themselves and is constantly trying to better themselves and learn. I think that is exactly why we're seeing that the Gemini is really attuned to their higher self. They're able to be discerning even with themselves. They hold themselves to a pretty high level of like truth seeking, even of their own selves. And I think that is what says this character is a really awesome person who's doing the best they can, and they're very relatable, and they actually are on their path, following their purpose, and it keeps looking like they're headed for a big leadership position, whatever that means. This could be being a leader and being ready to be in a long-term commitment. That Hierophant can be marriage. It can be a position of authority and any kind of a career path, becoming an expert, becoming a leader. They're ready to go ahead and do this after all, even though they still maintain, look, I am not perfect. But they're finally understanding, yeah, I know I'm not perfect, but none of us are, but I'm still going to go ahead and I'm going to listen to the fact that I've got some skills, and I really am ready to go ahead and showcase those skills. And they maintain a humbleness. This character has still this very humble quality to them. And like, I like this person. They're like the, I don't want to call them a diamond in the rough. They actually already are a diamond, but they'll always have those, what do you call them when diamonds have like, not flaws in them, but I always think they look prettier. I'm not a diamond person. I don't care about gems. I just like whatever is shiny and pretty. I could care less about anything's value. I don't own any diamonds myself at all. But when a gemstone or something has there's a name for it, like a within it that causes like a marbling effect, or you know, it changes the clarity of something. That is actually, to me, that's more beautiful than just the shiny, you know, like thing that has no extra texture to it. And I think that's what our Gemini is. They are something that has more texture to them, more dimension to them, and that is actually one of the things that makes them so much more beautiful. And they're finally accepting that in themselves, and they're stepping into that leadership role now in their life. All right, guys, I'm going to leave that one there. Loved that one. Thank you for being here, Geminis. I absolutely am grateful to you guys for letting me know that you want more Gemini videos. I love hearing from you. Thank you for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. I'll see you guys in the next storytelling. Bye.